Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Cloud Pro Tips. We are on episode 4. I am Shannon Henry and I design and support enterprise-grade cloud and hybrid environments across the Microsoft stack, working with real production systems, real data, and real business risk. In the last Cloud Pro Tip, we talked about how AI changes how data flows inside an organization and how AI will use whatever access paths are already available to it in your environment. At this point, I can almost hear some people thinking, but we already have permissions on our files. And you're right, most organizations do. The challenge is that permissions only answer one question. Who can access this file in this location right now? They don't answer a more important question. What should happen to this data when it moves? Because data never stays put now, does it? Files get emailed, documents get downloaded, contents get copied into Microsoft Teams chats, links get forwarded, people change roles, external guests get added. Permissions are tied to where data lives. They are not tied to the data itself in most cases. This is where sensitivity labels change the conversation. Sensitivity labels attach meaning and protection to the information, not just the folder or site it happens to be stored in. Instead of saying, this SharePoint site is restricted, you're saying, this document is confidential regardless of where it goes. Now, let me give you a scenario most leaders immediately recognize. Someone sends a sensitive document to the wrong recipient. Maybe it's a contract draft. Maybe it's a customer record. Maybe it's an internal financial document. We've all had that oops moment. With permissions alone, once that file leaves its original location and lands in someone's inbox, your controls may no longer apply in a meaningful way. With sensitivity labels and information protection in place, the email can be automatically encrypted. The attachment can be restricted from being forwarded. The wrong recipient may not even be able to open the file in the first place, and access can be revoked after the fact. Yes, after the fact. No one intended to cause harm, of course. In this scenario, the data protection followed the data anyways. That's the difference. Permissions protect locations. Labels protect information. Now zoom out and layer on AI on top of this reality. AI doesn't just interact with files sitting neatly in SharePoint. It interacts with emails, documents, chats, meeting notes, content that's been copied, moved, and reshaped across systems. So if your protection model only exists at a site or folder level, AI sees a fragmented and inconsistent picture of your data protection posture. This is where DSPM for AI becomes practical. DSPM for AI, Data Security Posture Management for AI, helps leaders understand where sensitive data actually lives across the environment, how consistently it's classified and labeled, where data is overshared or sitting in the wrong place, and how AI-powered experiences will interact with that reality. This isn't about assuming your teams are doing something wrong. See, real environments just drift over time. That's a fact. People move. Permissions accumulate. Temporary access becomes permanent. Labels are applied inconsistently. Content ends up in places no one originally designed for sensitive data. DSPM for AI gives you visibility into that drift before AI amplifies it. Let me give you one more realistic example. Think about a Teams channel that's been around for about, say, 2 years. It started with a small project group. Over time, more people were added. Some people left. External guests were included temporarily. Now, sensitive documents live in that channel. From a permission standpoint, everything looks fine. The channel still exists. Access technically works. But from a data protection standpoint, the intent no longer matches reality. Now introduce AI summarization. If an AI-powered experience summarizes documents or conversations in that channel, it's summarizing based on whoever has access today, not based on who should have access. DSPM for AI helps surface those mismatches. Here is the leadership takeaway. AI doesn't make your data protection posture worse. It makes whatever posture you already have more visible, more scalable, and more consequential. If your data protection model treats information as something that carries its own protection, AI becomes far safer to adopt responsibly. This is why AI readiness can't start with prompts and pilots. It has to start with understanding where your sensitive data lives, classifying it consistently, protecting it in a way that follows the data, and having visibility into how AI interacts with that data. DSPM for AI helps leaders move from assumptions to evidence. Not, we think our data is protected, but we can see how our data behaves as it moves and how AI changes that risk profile. Here's a simple way to think about it. AI doesn't lower the bar for data protection, it raises the stakes. If this was helpful, follow or subscribe for more cloud pro tips, practical real world guidance for leaders navigating cloud, security, and AI responsibly. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.